I've never really thought of myself as a particularly lucky or fortunate person. In fact, it's quite the contrary. But there are things that I am fortunate about and I don't take for granted, and that's being born without any defects. I wasn't born with like multiple chromosomes or anything. I'm not a product of inbreeding. My mom and dad have very different bloodlines, so I wasn't born with like a single eye, multiple butt cheeks, multiple assholes or anything. No, I was born a normal, healthy baby with a normal, albeit smaller than average, penis. And I've lived with this penis for as long as I've been alive. That's the last 20 years. Despite not being the largest, it is quite efficient. It's a very functional penis. Like while pissing, it's like I have an inbuilt scope attached on my dick. I'm like Agent 47 with my bald penis. My aim is perfect. So the point I'm trying to make is, I thought I knew the ins and outs of my penis. But alas, I was wrong, because I did not even know that the foreskin could be pulled back. In my defense, how the fuck are you supposed to know that? It's not like there's a code etched into your DNA that'll make you realize when you hit puberty, oh, my foreskin is actually supposed to be pulled back. No, there's nothing like that. There's no source of information that tells you that, hey, your foreskin is supposed to pull back. Your glans penis is supposed to be fully exposed while you're doing any activities with it. No, there's no real source of information that really tells you that. While watching porn, I did realize that the penises looked different, but I always thought, well, man, that's a circumcised penis. I always thought it was a product of the Jewish doctor going, Shalom. But alas, I was wrong, because there were porn stars with their foreskin intact. So how did this valuable information come across me? It's not from porn, it is not from any article, like health article or anything. It is from hentai. That's right, I was on my daily routine of reading doujins at 3 a.m. So I was going through some wholesome hentais, just normal fluff stuff that I read before going to bed with a semi-chub. It makes me happy. So there was this one doujin in which the girl is holding the guy's cock and she goes, oh, it's peeled back properly. So I read that and I took some time and I couldn't come up with a conclusion. What does she mean that is properly pulled back? All I can think of is it's probably the foreskin. She's probably talking about the foreskin. But then I thought, hey, this is hentai. This is the most unrealistic source of sexual information that there can be. So I took a moment to think about it. Where have I gotten more information? Is it porn or is it hentai? And the answer was a resounding victory for hentai. Hentai has taught me that relationships can be more than just sex. Hentai has taught me to never ever use drugs, ever. Hentai has taught me that seemingly fucked up shit, no matter how weird it looks, it can be wholesome, so don't judge stuff by its appearance. I owed a lot to hentai, so I gave it the benefit of the doubt. My monkey brain was able to put two and two together, and I immediately did what any sane person would do. I went to Reddit for answers, and I found out that yes, it is supposed to be pulled back, and that there are many people like me who did not know that you could pull your foreskin back. So I tried it. So I read about this on Reddit for like an hour, how you're supposed to pull it back while masturbating, while you're supposed to be pulling it back while taking a shower. Otherwise there's this, I don't know, stuff called smegma that builds up. I was fully ready to see a bunch of filthy shit down there. If I pulled my back, I thought my glance penis was gonna look like my high school bully's face, like a shriveled up face with a bunch of pimples. I thought that's what it's gonna be like. So as I slowly pulled it back, it was like uncovering Pandora's box, and I saw that there's nothing really down there. It's fully clean. There was some white particles, but that could either be dried up cum, or it could just be dry skin. I think it's a latter. So yeah, that's it. That's all it was. So with my naked glance in front of me, I immediately noticed two issues. Number one, it was extremely sensitive. I could not even let air touch it. It was like a vampire walking into sunlight. I thought my glans penis would just evaporate off. And the second issue was that it was tight. The foreskin was formed like a ring around my penis, and it was super tight. It was like choking my penis. And the frenulum was also extremely tight. So if you don't know what a frenulum is, it's like a small membrane. You actually have it under the base of your tongue. It's like this thing. Yeah, that thing right there. That thing is a frenulum. So you have that on your dick, and it holds the foreskin, it connects the foreskin to like the base of the glance penis. So yeah, it was super tight and it hurt when I pulled it back. So I looked for Reddit for answers again, and one guy had the genius idea of washing your penis, and me being the idiot I am, I followed it. So there I was at 4 a.m. in the bathroom. I was washing my penis. Let's just say pouring cold water onto a really sensitive glance penis does not go well. It hurt like crazy, and I should not have done that. It was like pain I've never felt before, and I've actually broken my arm, and this was, I can actually say that this was more painful. It's a completely different type of pain, but boy, it's painful. So it took me a few days, but I was able to reduce the sensitivity, and I was able to reduce the tightness of my foreskin. I just pulled on it, did stretching exercises I found online. Like, it's not like a fucking mouse setting. It takes actual work to reduce the sensitivity of a glance penis. So I just left the penis raw as it should be for some time. Like, I went to the gym. While I went to the gym, I just pulled back the foreskin. I just did workouts like that. While I slept, I just pulled it back and just slept that way, so it just kept brushing on my underwear. But yeah, eventually it got to the point where I could jerk off with my foreskin being pulled back. And boy, it was a different experience. Now, normally, I don't jerk off for pleasure. I don't think anyone actually does that. It's just, firstly, for time pass, and secondly, it's because if you don't jerk off frequently, you actually get to the point where you're extremely horny. Like, I call it turbo horny. So it's a point where you just feel a chill down your spine when you get turned on, and the only thing on your mind is that you want to jerk off. Your dick gets like super hard, and you cannot do anything. You cannot be productive unless you jerk off like at least twice. So guys jerk off regularly to make sure that we never hit that threshold. We rarely ever jerk off for pleasure. But boy, this was different. I nearly shot semen onto the fucking ceiling. This felt different. This actually felt pleasurable, and I realized on what I was missing out on. Like, I always jerked off with my foreskin on. Don't ask me how I did it. So I started trying different stuff. I was using futanari hentai for reference, and I was jerking off to Futabu episode 3. That's when my sister walked in on me. If you want to know more about the story, you can watch part 1 of this sex education session. So I talked to my friends about this, and turns out it is the same for them. Like, I was a step behind them because they knew that you could pull it back, but they were not jerking off with it being pulled back. They thought it was too sensitive, and they didn't do that either. They never trained it. They never went the extra mile. And I assume the difference is because I watch anime and they don't, so I know what it feels like to push forward, keep moving forward until my enemies are destroyed. So yeah, I know my friends are watching this. You're actually supposed to pull it back while jerking off, and if you can't do it, you have to try it. There's also another friend I have. He's named Vinid. We talked to him about this, and he went, "Yeah, you can only pull the foreskin back, right?" And that scared us shitless, because we knew if we didn't tell him otherwise, he was just going to rip the entire skin off his dick. He's like the happy idiot in our group. Every group needs the happy idiot, so we are happy to have him. But he's a bit too idiotic. So we had to convince him, yeah, you're doing it the right way. You don't have to change anything. Your dick is fine. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have never pulled back your foreskin, I urge you to try it. It will hurt at first, and you might have a condition called phimosis, in which case you should not pull your foreskin back because you might break the frenulum. I have never had that experience myself, and I would like to keep it that way. So look it up and be gentle with your penis. My neighbors turned off their fucking air conditioner just as I'm ending the video. That's infuriating. Now the entire video is gonna have their AC in the background, and now, while I'm ending it, it's no longer there. Oh, never mind, they turned it back on, so it's fine. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.